welcome to my YouTube channel, AB's Techtime. I hope you will enjoy the process of developing your first project using ArcGIS. So when we want to start a project, the first thing we need to do is to develop the GIS project folder, because every project that you create has a respective folder where you can extract some of this data. So for now, I am going to create a new project folder called GIS Training. So to create a folder is just simple. You right click, go to new. Sorry, I'm using Windows 11, so it might be the same for other version of Windows. You click on new, then you move up to folder. Then the name of the folder is going to be GIS Training. Yeah, so this is the project folder. So next we double click. In this folder, we're going to create 3 separate folders. The reason being that the first folder is going to be called processed. The processed folder is where you will be saving the output from the GIS. Next, we're going to create another folder called raw data. This raw data folder is where whenever you want to collect data or you have data sets from the field in Excel format, this is where you can keep it for further analysis into GIS. Next, we're going to create another folder called shapefile. Shapefile is the secondary data set that you can get from any other sources. Shapefile can be your district boundaries for the country, it can be your waterways, it can be anything that has been developed from another project that you might want to use. So I can stop for these 3 folders. Next, what you're going to do is to get our data. You know, GIS without data is nothing. So what we can do is we have to use data sets that we can copy and paste into shapefile. So for the purpose of this training, I will be using data sets from Sierra Leone. It's a district boundary which we're going to utilize for this project. So the shapefile is being saved in this folder. It's Sierra Leone district. So what I will do is to copy the entire folder and paste it into GIS training. Since we already have a folder named shapefile, we're going to delete the shapefile, then replace it with the shapefile that has the dataset. This is shapefile with Sierra Leone district as admin. So once you have set up your project, you can now try to open ArcMap. So we can close this window when you want to open ArcMap for the first time. For Windows users, we come to search, then try to spell ArcMap. Yeah, this is ArcMap. My version of ArcMap is 10.7. So I click on the application. Depending on your processor, it loads for some minutes. Let's give it a few seconds. Okay, here we go. So when it opens, if you have already developed some sample projects, you will have recent projects under existing maps. You will see the recent projects I have developed. Since you're going to create a new project, we have to click on this new maps. Then you click on my template, then you have blank map. So next, what you're going to do is you can see what is being written here as default geodatabase for this map. What we're going to do is to create a geodatabase for the map which we're going to create. For now, we have a default folder that has been created previously. We're not going to use this folder. We're going to create our own GIS geodatabase. So what we're going to do is to click on Browse. Then you have to connect the parent folder that you created initially in the desktop, which is called GIS Training. into the ArcMap. So you use this connects to folder icon, then you search in your desktop for the folder, the parent folder which we just created. Oh yeah, I have desktop here. Then we move on to GIS training. So I stop here. All these other folders are subfolders created in the GIS training. Then you click on OK, you will see I have already in the parent folder called GIS training. That's why I have the processed folder, the raw data, and the shapefile. So what I'm going to do next is to create a geodatabase. The geodatabase is where we will try to save most of our shapefiles being developed from the geoprocessing. So if you come to the second to last item, you can see the mouse. You have new file geodatabase. So when we click on new file geodatabase, you will have it here. It's something like a tank that hosts your data set. So what we'll do, we don't want the name to be called new file geodatabase. So we're going to give the name of the geodatabase GIS training, just like how it was done in the parent folder. So what we're going to do is to delete all of the prefix name and leave the .gdb, which means geodatabase, and give a name GIS underscore training. So you click outside, then this is being activated. Then you click on GIS training, you will see it's being appeared under name. Then we click on add. So when that is done, you will see default geodatabase for this map is now under this file path, desktop GIS training, then GIS training.gdb. So we click on OK. So when this is done, we are now set. But our project is not being developed because we just created the path and linked the folder into the project. So if you can look at the top, it says on title ArcMap. This means the ArcMap has not been saved. So what we can do is to click on save, then we navigate towards our parent folder, which is called GIS training, located in the desktop. This is it, GIS training. Then we click inside. You will see the folders that have been created. This is the geodatabase that has just been created. So it is in this GIS training parent folder, we're going to save our ArcMap document. So we remove all of these names. Then we use the same name that was initially used for the parent folder as the ArcMap document. So we click on GIS underscore training. So this is going to be the name of the project. Then we click on save. If you can look at the top, we now have GIS training, ArcMap, instead of untitled. So this is the first step in developing your interface for which you will use the ArcMap and its content. So here, this is just a preliminary view for you to understand the windows that are in ArcMap. At the top, this is called the menu bar. The menu bar has lots of tabs that will be used for feature geoprocessing. Next on the left, we have the layer, and on the right is very important. We have something called catalog. Catalog is the brain of the structure where we have the data set. So if you have already saved your GIS training ArcMap, then if you try to open home, you will realize the home has your parent folder. Let's just try to open it. Then you will see the folders that have been created. This shows that this GIS environment is within the desktop and GIS training, and these are the files located in the parent folder. So what we can do is we have to utilize the shapefiles which have been given to us. So we open it, then we will see it's only a shapefile called Sierra Leone District, which is named SL District. Then for us to import any shapefile of this type is just to click and drag onto the display. Then you will have the district boundary for Sierra Leone. So this is the way you can import any shapefile that has been given to you by a third party or shapefiles being given to you by another project. So a couple of things that we can use in this is to at least look at the data set. Whenever you are given a set of data like this, you have to look into the data set and understand what are the elements or what are the information the data set contains. So next is, this is the data, you right click, then you try to open attribute table. Attribute table is the information that are being saved in the shapefile. So if you look through, you will see field ID, which starts from 0 down to 15. Then you will see the shape, it's a polygon shape. Then we have the population for each of the districts. We have the total area in square kilometer. Then we have the provinces. Each of these districts belongs to a province. So that is why you have in the province column as well as the district column. By the way, we will be using fields instead of column. Fields are just the same with column. So this is the information that we have. So if you are asked to at least give the information that has been saved in the shapefile, the information that has been saved is the population, the area, the provinces, and the districts. The shape and the FID are constant because they are geospatial elements. So if you want to see the total amount of elements being saved, you will just see 0 out of 16. 16 means the total element that is within the district. We have 16 districts. So this is just an information of what you can do whenever you are given a shapefile like this. So first of all, next is to look at each of this shape, then provide the labels. Because for someone that is not within Sierra Leone, will never know which district is which. So you have to label your boundary shapefile. To do this is to right click on the shapefile, then you go to properties. This is the properties window. It has a couple of tabs that will be utilized in the future. But for now, because we want to label the elements, we click on labels. Depending on what you want to label, this is the field, text or string or label field. For now, the default is in province. You can select the type of fields that you want to label. For now, I'm going to select district. Then you have to ensure that label feature in this layer is being ticked. If not, you can just click OK, then you won't see anything in the label. For example, let me say I have to increase the font size from 8 to 11. Then I click on OK. I will have nothing displayed because I didn't tick on show features in this layer. So I go again and right click on the Sierra Leone district. Then I move on to the labels, which is already the default. Then I click on label features in this layer. Then I click on OK. So by this, you will have the names of each district for the polygons. So this is how you can label any shapefile that has been given to you. It can be point, it can be line, it can be polygon. So when we hear the word shapefile, it's nothing else but point, line, and polygon. So for now, this is polygon. So I cannot dive into you to understand what the point, what is line, what is polygon. I think I'll have to do that in a separate video. But for the purpose of this, we have to stick to what will be the objective. So this is the way you can label any feature. So next, what we're going to do is sometimes you might want to give symbology to your maps. For example, if you try to open the attribute table, you will realize that there is a column called province. So which means each of these districts belong to a province. Maybe we might want to use a symbology that shows, for example, the East province, it has a different color. The Northern province have different color. The West and the Northwest with different color. So this is possible. We can still remain the label, then try to give colors to each of the provinces. So next, what we can do is the same process that was done earlier. for labels. So we right click, then move on to symbology. This time we're going to use symbology. Remember, not labels anymore. We click on symbology. Because we're going to categorize the symbol based on provinces, we are not going to use single symbol as it is. So we have to click on categories. Under categories, we're going to give unique values to field. The field that we're going to use is provinces. So we click on province. When you click on province, nothing happens except you add all values. So when you click on add all values, you will see different color for each province. Remember, this is all other value. We don't need it. We can just take it out because we don't have any other value that has other value. We are still going to work on the east, the north, the northwest, the south, and the west. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces. So you can change the random colors that are here for each of these districts. But for now, let's just keep it simple. We use the default color. Then we click on OK. This color is not that much perfect, but it shows us that the entire of this color, if you look at the legend, this is south, and this is northwest. The north here is in green. Then we have the east. Sorry. So these colors can be customized. If we don't want this color for east, you can just right click on the east. You can just right click on the east, then change the color. Then if you want the north, just right click on the north. Then I want the north to have something like this color. Then for the northwest, because it's too dark, sorry, I'm left clicking, that's why, but I have to right click. I right click on northwest. Then I select different color for this. Then of course the western area or the west, the south is okay like that. The west is so dark, so let me just give it something like gray. So this is how you have to symbolize your map based on the provinces. So now we have labeled the maps, or each of these districts has been labeled. Then we have symbolized the provinces. So this is one way you can export your map. For example, let's say we want to present this map or we want to export this map. So again, what I want us to understand is when we want to export a map, we have to consider this symbol that is here. Now we are in data view. If you come with the mouse, you will see data view. So when you want to export, you come to the right, you will see layout view. So because we're going to export the map, we click on, by the way, before we export, I want you to understand something. Let's say your map has been hidden somewhere like this. Then you want it to be in front of you just as it was. So the best way to do it, you cannot just be scrolling up, because if you try to scroll, you will miss the interface. When this happens like this, just go to the Sierra Leone district or to any data set, right click, then you click on zoom to layer. So when you click on zoom to layer, you will have the map in front of you. So this zoom to layer is very important because whenever you want to export your final map, it needs to be zoomed to the specific layer for which you are interested in. So next we come to layout view because we want to export the map. Click on layout view. You will have a layout, an outline that will tell us what to do. So if you look at the middle line here, which is a gray, this means this is the map frame. We can toggle through to expand it, but we have to ensure that when we expand, it should not go across the gray line. So we can make it bigger a bit, but please ensure that when you try to increase, it should not go beyond the gray line. So this is the map. We can still right click and zoom to layer because we have done some changes here. So this is the map. What I want you to understand as well is you have to know the component of a layout or the element of a map. There are key elements which a map should have. One of them is the title. A map should have a title. Well, it depends. Maybe if you want to develop a map for which you can later reference in a project report, you won't give it a title because you will have a figure number that will tell us what the title of the map is. So sometimes folks don't use the title on maps. So they instead use the titles on the map when they want to do their report. So for now, let's keep it simple. We're going to give the elements of a map. 1 is the title, 2 is the legend, 3 is the scale bar, and 4 is the north arrow. So those 4 elements at least a map should have. So this is the interface. So what you can do is we might want to insert some of these elements. We are still in the map frame. Let's click. We want to insert those elements down the map. So we can just toggle the map up a bit to just give us a space. So at this space, this is the space where we're going to insert the legend, the title, the north arrow, the scale bar, and the like. So you can do it both ways. You can do it underneath, or if you want, you can right click, click and drag and do it at the top. You will have a space depending on where you want your title to be. So for now, I just want it simple to be at the bottom. So I undo, then I have the bottom. So what I'm going to do next is, if you look at the Insert tab here, you will see the elements of a map. First of all, this is the title. Let's say we want the title. Then we give a title name. Let's say Map of Sierra Leone, showing provinces and districts. Or we just say Sierra Leone, showing provinces and districts. Map of Sierra Leone. We all know it's a map, but let's just write this. Map of Sierra Leone, showing provinces and districts. Districts. So click on OK. So this is the title of the map. Then we can click and drag it intuitive. We have the title underneath the map. So next, what we're going to do, maybe we can just say, because this is bold, we want to reduce it. We can double click. Then we have some elements here. You can put it at the center, just like how Word is. So this is the font. If you want, you can change it. But maybe we just click on change symbol style. Then you have the size of the font size. I want to make it something like 18 font size. Then you can change the font style and you click on OK. Click on OK. So you have the font that has been reduced to 18. So next, what I'm going to do is to insert a legend. Legend item, it brings the list of items that are in the layer. But for now, we only have one item. So if we click on insert, click on legend. So this means map layer, we have Sierra Leone district, then the legend item is Sierra Leone district. This is where you can configure what should be on the legend. For now, it's only one element. So if you have multiple, you will just click on it, then send it to the right. For example, if there was nothing here, let's say this we want to send back to the left, nothing is on the legend item. But if you have couple of data sets, we just click on it, then we send to the legend item. So any other process is just next until you finish here. So this is the legend. We have got a legend for our map. Because the legend cannot be pasted here, we can just find a place within the map. So because we know that Sierra Leone districts, we have underscore, the name of Sierra Leone districts can be changed because some people might not understand what underscore is. So we just say districts because we know this is Sierra Leone. So to edit, you can just left click until you have the cursor like this that is editable. Then we just type district. So this is the district. Then we can still remain the province as it is because this shows east, north, northwest, south, and west, an area. So this is the legend. So what next is to insert another key element of a map, which is called the scale bar. So if we click on scale bar, you will have lots of options to choose. So I'm going to select let me select this first one. Then I just click on OK. Then the scale bar is here. I will just click and drag. I can increase. This is in miles. If you don't want the scale bar to be in miles, it can be configured to kilometers. You double click on it. Then you move on to division units. Division unit is in miles. Then you select kilometers. Then we click on OK. So now it's in kilometers. So next, what we're going to do is to insert another key map element, which is the north arrow. If we click on north arrow, we will have lots of options to select from. I like this one. Then I click on OK. So the north arrow is here. Then because this is too big, I have to reduce it. Let me reduce this north arrow. Then I can still click and drag and paste at the top. Yeah, so our map is now beautiful. So what we can do is we have just constructed the layout. Then we're going to export this map that can be used for importing into reports, or can be printed for your manager to see what you have done so far. So what can be done here is, in as much as you have finished all the configuration in the layout view, for us to export the map is we go to File, then we click on Export Map. There are a lot of options when we click on Export Map. We can export JPEG, which is a picture format. We can export PDF format and the like. So because I have already located my parent folder, that is why when I clicked on Export, it brought me directly into my folder. But should you never saw this folder, you have to click on Desktop. Then you look at the GIS training. Then, as I said earlier, the processed folder can be used to output our maps. This is where our maps will be saved. So I click on processed. Then the name of this map is district map. District map. Then I click on save. I have just retained the JPEG format. You can select the type of format which you want to save. I have PDF, I have JPEG, I have PNG, but I'll select JPEG. Resolution is very important. The higher the resolution, the more visual your map is. That is, the more you can see the sharpness and so effective. But if you have higher resolution, remember, you will have high megabytes for this map. So that is why sometimes you have to be careful when you try to do your resolution. So for now, I'll leave the default, then I click on save. So our map is being saved. I can now move to the folder where it's been saved. Let me just click this folder, minimize. Then it's under GIS training. Processed. This is our friend. Then if we double click, this is our beautiful map. So thank you very much. This is the objective of the video, to develop a simple map from scratch, then to the exporting stage. So what can be done in our next video is to show you how to select a specific district of interest. Then you try to create a shapefile. The shapefile can be points. The points can be wells or poles. Or the shapefile can be polygon that shows the building. Or the shapefile can be roads or lines that shows the road network or river network. So for now, I think we have come to the end of this task. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next. Bye-bye.